So this is a little overdue, but here's some footage from my trip to Cape Town. So I went to Cape Town back in December 2022, and it was for a work trip, but I managed to squeeze in a bit of sightseeing as well. This is me on the plane heading over to Cape Town. I just boarded and had my seat. I had early boarding, so that's why it looks a little bit empty but filled up. This was when I got to the hotel room. It was a really nice hotel. Actually, it looked nicer in the video than in real life, but it was a nice enough place to stay. Location was pretty central, and it was very easy to get to most places. I did take Ubers quite a bit, but that's just because I was advised, not to necessarily walk everywhere. And the views from every building I went to were pretty amazing. Cape Town is such a great city. I really loved it. And then I made my way to a museum. I went to the Zeit Mocha Museum, I believe it's called. And there were so many wonderful pieces of artwork that it just made the whole trip so enjoyable, because it was like one of the first things I did when I got there. And I saw a lot of unique art. I know every museum has its own style and its own really cool features, but I really liked the art here. I don't know if it was something to do with the themes or the history behind the work or just viewing the artwork in the location I was in, but it was great. And the museum was huge, like lots of stairs. I took the stairs for exercise, but I also did take the elevator later in the video. But initially I just wanted to tour the place and see it from all angles. You see all the stairs going down. And then I saw this exhibit called When They See Us, and it was loosely related to the Netflix series When They See Us by Ava DuVernay. And I guess it was just a reflection on Black culture and what it means to be Black as well. And that was really interesting, beautiful paintings, very vibrant. I enjoyed that whole exhibit so much. And it went on and on. There was so much to see. I got so much footage throughout the whole entire museum. I wish I had taken some snaps on the descriptions, because now it's been so long that I can't specifically remember each piece, or at least who the artist was or the inspiration behind it. But just looking at the photos, you get such a vibe from each one. They're all telling their own stories, and it feels really meaningful. And like I said, they're so vibrant. I just enjoyed the artwork so much, and just seeing faces that look like you or remind you of yourself. And I know it's South African artwork, but I feel all descendants kind of have this story that's woven together, even if we all ended up on different continents. So you just feel like you're represented, and you're seeing people who remind you of something or feel familiar. So it was really just a wonderful visit to the museum. So this room was filled with so many different books from various Black and African authors, and just lots of book titles that you would recognize, various things written throughout history telling our story. And this one, I loved this painting because it was the Obamas. And here you can see the entrance or the exit to the exhibit. And then here I was exploring a bit more of the museum, but this time I got on the elevator, as I mentioned earlier. It was very cool. Glass elevator took you all the way to the top. And then this was me at the top of the building, just getting some footage of the view. And then I went outside to this outdoor space that they had. But it's really funny. I went to this museum to explore, and the next day I ended up back at this museum for an event. I ordered a waffle and ice cream. It was amazing. And then I stepped out onto the balcony, still in the museum, and again, really great views throughout the city. And the weather was really amazing that day. And then from a different angle on the balcony, there's a view of what looked like the water. And then at this point, I believe I got on a bus and I took a bus tour around Cape Town. And the bus eventually just takes you through the city center, but then out into, I guess, some slightly more remote areas, because eventually it drives you up to the entrance where you start hiking up the mountain if you want to hike or just see the attractions at, I believe it's called Tabletop Mountain. And there's also a cable car that you can take, but I didn't get a chance to do that while I was there. You can hop on and off the bus whenever you want, so I did get off a few times just to look around at certain things and then hopped back on. And yeah, as you can see, we're descending, or ascending, I should say, up the mountain, getting closer to the top. The road was a little narrow in some spots and the bus was quite large. I have to say those drivers are very skilled, because there were some moments that felt like, oh, we're very close to the edge, or that we're driving very close to other vehicles. But it was great. Really nice bus trip, really nice people. There were other tourists on the bus as well. And you just get the best view of the city on that hop on, hop off bus. And I think it was my first time ever taking one of those. Wait, no, my second time. I think I took one when I was in Budapest. But anyway, it was really great, as you can see from the views. And it was like the quickest way to be able to see as much of the city as possible, because in total I had 3 days and 2 nights in Cape Town. Maybe less, actually, maybe 2 nights and 2.5 days. I was there for a conference, so I spent a lot of time actually at the conference. I think I only had 1 free day, so that's why I went to the museum and then did the bus tour. And then I did at one point during the trip take an Uber. Oh no, when I took the Uber to the museum, I left the museum and decided to walk around and explore. And I think from there I was able to walk to the waterfront. I hope I'm remembering correctly. And the waterfront was really cool because there were all these different shops and there was entertainment. Well, you can see it here now. Nice views of the water. They also had like boat tours and cruises, but didn't have enough time to do that. Hopefully on another visit. But it was beautiful. There's so many different restaurants and people just hanging out, very lively and bustling. I had such a good time just on my walking tour. You can see other people out and about. So busy there. I think if you live in Cape Town, that's probably the place to go. And you see these ladies dancing and having a good time. I want to end the vlog with some footage from the museum. I really thought that this was a beautiful video with like a butterfly just setting itself free and just going off on its own. And I like it because on this trip, it was the moment I realized that I wanted to move back home to the States. And on my flight back from Cape Town, I had this really interesting experience sitting next to someone on the plane. And I really feel like that story is to be continued. Thanks for watching.